Welcome my friends to lecture number 9 on Geogebra introduction, and today we will continue our discussion on sequencing, and we will particularly learn one very interesting command which is called rotate command. Rotate. This command we will use together with the sequencing command to create various interesting objects. Okay, so let us go to the working table straight away, and we make this screen a shorter one bit, and this I place it at centrally, the origin. And the rotate command is essentially will look like this one. Rotate an object which could be, say, a point. Rotate point A, and you have to supply by what angle it is to be rotated. So that angle could be anything, say pi by 6, some angle. This is the angle. So rotate point A by an angle pi by 6. About whom? About the another point, say C. This is the grammar of this rotate instruction, which is very logical, and let us see how can we rotate things. For example, you create a point here, not here. You create a point, I hope I have gone to the correct screen, yes. And then we create a point, for example, C, say 0, 0, origin. At the origin I create a point, okay. And it should be comma. So you create the point and it appears here, and then I create another point, say A, at say point 4, 0, 4, 0, I create another point. Why so many brackets are coming? Say 4, 0, I create another point A, okay, and if put return, the name will come, and this is the thing. Now suppose I want to rotate the point. In default it rotates, I suppose, in the anti-clockwise direction, and by some angle, say pi by 6. Then the instruction will be rotate point A by an angle of, say, pi divided by 6 by 30 degree. I want to rotate pi by 6. Then comma, in default it presumes about point C because no other points are available. So anyway, but I will specify the point here following the grammar of the thing, and it is there. So it goes there, and in fact it creates another point A dashed. You have rotated A to A dashed by an angle of 30 degree. This angle is 30 degree. Is that clear? Very simple. And this rotate command can be applied to any other object. That we will discuss later. But anyway, this is a simple command, and it will help me to create a lot of points around point C in one stroke by using the sequencing commands. Okay, so let us try to do that, and let us hide this, and here I write that, follow this instruction carefully. I want to rotate the point A by various angles in one stroke, and all the points will be kept in a list. That is the whole thing I am trying to do. The moment you say that I want to keep those points in a list, you have to uh, produce a list. So sequence command is important. But before I apply the sequence comments, I just create a slider, and suppose I say that its initial value is suppose 1 to say 10, with an increment of 1. Okay, that's fine. So I create a slider, then I say this instruction you try to understand. Sequence of rotate which point I want to rotate. I want to rotate point A, but not by a fixed angle. That should go on changing so that it will create more points. So A comma, I say that thing is by the angle 2 pi divided by say A. Got the point? If the value is A is 1, it will rotate this point by 2 pi. That A dash will come here. But that I will vary. Understood? Good. And then 2 pi by A, 2 pi, and you make star I. That will be my variable of the function, 2 pi by A into I. Then what I have to do, comma, about which point you want to rotate, about point C. Then as you know, sequence, so this is the function, I is the variable, then I write the variation of I comma 1 comma A comma 1 with an increment of 1. That is what I will create. So this is the rotation, and it will create many points because I is the variable. How many points it will create? A number of points it will create depending upon the value of A. For example, if you increase A as to 4, I expect that it will create 4 points. It has not created. Why? Oh, CQ, U I forgot to type. Yes, it has created 4 points. This point has been rotated by an angle pi by 2 because the value of A is 4, is not? So 2 pi by 4 is pi by 2, and so on, another point here. So 4 points have been created by this particular instruction. Now obviously you could create more points, as you can see, if you increase the value, but that is the angle I am decreasing, 2 pi by A. So depending upon the value of A, this will be created. See, the point is, if I ask you, if I did not know this rotate instruction, I could also create those points, but meticulously writing down the coordinates of each of the points. It will be some time-taking job, as you can easily understand. So now you have been able to create so many points in one stroke, equispaced point. Okay, and if you join these points, it will be a regular polygon. It looks like, is not what? Okay, if you have understood this, then let us do more experimentation with this particular thing. Now what I plan to do is this: for a given value of a, here it is now 9, so 9 points have been created. I would like to join point C with this point, C with this point, that is radially I will join all these points. Okay, so line segments I have to do, but it will be in a sequence so that all the lines will be drawn in one stroke. That is the whole idea. Clear? So I will be exactly doing that. So I come to my new line of instruction, okay, here, and I say that I want to do a sequence of segments, is not that? So sequence of segments. Segment require 2 points. Here one of the point is fixed, that is capital C. So first point is capital C, comma, and the second point will come from this list tail 1. So you simply write tail 1, comma, I, and this will be the coordinates of this segment point C, L1. L1 ith element, and after this I will simply say the range of I, which will be equal to I, comma, 1 starting value, comma, the final value A, comma, 1. And you see it has now joined, you get all the line segments here in one stroke, as you can see. And if you vary these numbers, you will get more numbers, as you can see. Okay. So all the line segments are created in this fashion, just in one stroke. So see the sequence command. I have used it in coupled with I wanted to create a sequence of these points first, okay, by rotate command like this, and A, I have already created a slider. From that value A will take, and I can vary that if I wish how these points will look like. Is that clear? For example, you could also make this this range of A, you can just change it a bit higher values, maybe say 20, with an increment of the same thing, and you can easily see more and more points will be created. So it's just like a radial lines coming out of the center C to various locations. Okay, now what I will do, suppose I switch up this, hide this L2, then these points are created. Now my plan will be, I will take any point here, any of the point in list L2, which are coordinates of different points. This list is coordinates of a point in this bracket. So you take suppose any point I, say this one, and from this I would like to draw line segments joining A, this, and all the points from A I will draw line segments. And after I have finished that, I will go to another point and once again do the same thing. I will start joining this with this, this with this, this with this, this with this, creating lot of line segments. Got the idea? So that is what my plan is. So it will be another slightly involved exercise, how we can use the sequence commands more efficiently. For example, I will now start writing. I have disclosed my plan, what I am going to do. Now I will create a sequence. Now in this case, suppose there will be one variable I which will fix up these points, this or this or this. Okay? But then the moment you say you will join this point and this point, there will be another variable j. So now we have to vary. I have to select I to select these points. Then from that point, the variation of j will select these points to draw line segments. That is the whole idea. Although in language it is becoming a bit involved, let us see how it can be done. So therefore what I mean to say is that you have to use two sequence commands, one for I and another for j. Let us see how it will work. Sequence, you put the bracket, then put another sequence, and then I have to draw line segments after all. So segment and line segments will have coordinates of 2 points, and where these 2 points will come from, it will come from this list L1. Okay, so I write L1, one of its elements, say I, where the second point will come from, same list L1, is it not? So L1, but I will put another variable here, j, and it is done like this. Then you come to this point here, cursor, and then you vary I, comma, starting value, comma, a, comma 1, then comma, j, comma, 1, comma, a, comma 1. That is what I will be doing. Forget about whatever has come, but it has come correctly, I will tell you. Now what this instruction does, let us spend some time on this. It says that you first keep j equal to 1, then vary I from 1 to a. Okay, whatever is the value of a. Suppose you make I a little less so that you can understand what I am doing. So select one value of I, j, and vary I from 1 to a. So all the lines will be drawn between this and segments. And so line segments. What are these things are written here? It is the length of each line segment, as you know already. Okay, line segment has got no coordinates, but okay, has got a definite length. So this is how it is reflected here. Is that point clear? And you get that. And on the top of it, if you also select this, these points are already there, L2. Okay. So this is how you can create this nice pattern of various line segments. And what is this? This is a regular polygon. Also we have created a regular polygon here by this instruction, this one and the segment comment here. Clear? And if you play it around, you can create such nice pattern, which is otherwise, so it will be very time involved if I go on drawing it. GeoGebra also gives that option, but you should not do like that. So it takes for a triangle, for a square. Then it goes up, you can make it 100 sides, it will do. But as you can easily see, as you know, as the number of sides are increasing, this perimeter of this whole thing will approach to a circle centered around 0 with a radius 4. Is that clear? Now to make it slightly more attractive, and that is no maths, as I have telling you quite some time, but I am very much tempted to do that. Here you select your, don't show any axis and don't show grid, no grid, it is a white thing, and then select the background color to be black, where it is, background color, where below, further below, is it? Where is the background color goes? I'm sorry. Color is there, but background color of the screen is where? This is the background color. Select it slightly dark color and OK, and it will be looking like this. And if you play it around, it will show you in a much better way. But you can make it further better by making it multicolor, and for that you have to this is the M1 sequence, it creates all these line segments here. So go to its setting and come here and go to advanced thing, and maybe you go to HSL, you go make this main hue to be to be 1. We have been doing no 1. We'll make it dependent on the value of n, some function of a rather. A is the variable, so make it absolute value of say sine a. I will be using different function, and I will suggest that you use different functions to have best coloring effect. I leave it to you, but I am just doing this. Sine a will be taken as radian, as you know, so its value will change between -1 to +1, but nonetheless I have to make it positive. That's why I have put absolute value of that. And lightness, you make it say 0.7 or 0.6, whatever it is, 0.7. And I hope I have done it. Only thing, style, you make it a thinner thing, so that line opacity, what does it do? If I do like that, size, you make that point size also little. Okay, let us see, it is like this. And now if you play whether there is a coloring effect coming, yes, it is coming, not bad. And in fact it is a very attractive pattern one can create so easily by using rotate command, and you couple it with sequencing command, and you create such a beautiful thing. And of course you can see how beautiful it looks like. Wow. So this is how one can create more complicated thing by using sequencing commands. But here what I would like to tell you further about this new thing is perhaps the rotate command is very simple to understand. Rotate point A about C by what angle? This angle, what you will supply, and that angle I wanted to make vary with I, and A I have created a slider earlier, so I have a control over that, how many points will be created and so on. So you do that and you get a sequence. Now you see, while creating this sequence, there was a single variable I. Okay, and that whenever you use sequence, this is what you have to do. I, function of I, range of a variation of I, starting value, final value, and increment. It creates this list of points. Okay, then I created line segments joining the center of the points with all the corners here. That is fairly easy, only one variable here. But the last one is, you must understand carefully, that what I plan to do is this one. That is, you go to this page. What I am telling is, okay, I'll remain here. What I want to do is that so many points have been created. You create one point here, take a one point here, and join all the points. That is this, and all these points are listed in list 1. So you have to select a point from list 1 and do this. But after doing that, selecting point A, doing all these things, don't stop there. Then you do the same thing for this point as well. Come to this point, once again repeat the same feat. So you see, there is two variables involved here. One is the first point, L1i, segment between which 2 points, L1i, comma, another point, that is L1j, same list but another point, where I will first fix up J1, then I will vary 1 to A. All these are meant here. I mean, this is how things go on. This is the outer loop, J1, then vary 1 to A for the I. Then J2 and make this variation. And that will create this very beautiful looking pattern. Okay. So this is where I will stop here today, and I will really request you to understand this rotate instruction, and also sequence instruction we are much more familiar with, but the sequence commands with two variables, how it can be implemented, have been indicated here in this instruction. In that case, you have to use two sequences. Hope you have enjoyed this particular episode, that is lecture 9, and I will discuss more about sequencing with two variables in my next lecture. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you very much.